Dishes like shepherd's pie have that instant nostalgic effect for me, transporting me right back into my childhood. And on a cold winter's day like today, it really is the perfect choice. No time to waste, my friends. Now let's go! Gonna be using the mighty russet potato for this recipe. Here's how I like to peel potato. I start at the top, and I'll try to get one whole peel all the way around back to where I started. See that? Boom. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. So, 2 peels. And then from there, I'll just hold the potato and peel down, and I'll go over any brown bits, like right here, for instance, just peel it out. For me, that works really well. Now, if you're doing this with the kids, fork it like that so they can protect their cute little hands, and then just peel like so. Actually, it works very well. Do the top. I think I just did that way faster than the other way. I might just switch. Don't you dare throw away these potato skins. Cover them with cold water and change that out a couple times. I changed out the water until it was clear. Now just make sure they're submerged, and I'll do this as a bonus video over the weekend. Now the most important thing when you're slicing a potato is just that everything is the same size. So I'm gonna half these, and then I'm gonna half again, and then one more time right here. Just get nice little pieces like this. Drop your potatoes into some cold water, drain out that water, and we'll just change this out 2 times. Also, don't put too much water when you do this. You want to just cover the top of the potatoes. Get those on the fire. Just add about a half a tablespoon of salt and let them roll. Onion. All right, so for the onion, I'll do a sort of larger dice for shepherd's pie. I don't need it to be tiny. Something like this. Okay, no blood on the onion. Let's keep going. Drop that in a bowl. Moving on, we'll do some celery. We'll just take off those white bottoms, the tops if need be. And then celery is really fibrous. I like to peel it. I mean, some people think this is weird, but I'm not trying to floss while I eat my shepherd's pie, you know what I'm saying? So once it's peeled, I'll just chop that in half. And we're just going for a similar size piece to the onion, right? So I cut that in thirds, and then I'll just do squares. Now I'll just take some carrots, remove these tops. Now you can peel these, but you can also just take them in the sink and keep one of those scrubby green sponges and clean them like that. Works really well. It's just these are a little older, so I'm just peeling them now. Now with the carrots, same exact deal, just similar size to the celery and onion. And add everything together. So potatoes took about 35 minutes. For me, I'm gonna drain off the water, but then leave them in this pan to sort of steam and dehydrate a little bit. Over here, I'm warming up some milk and cream. Full recipe's always in the description. And I'm adding unsalted butter, and we're just gonna melt that all up, make it hot. All right. Ricer, couldn't live without it, gotta have it, I need it, I'll put a link. All you do is load up that chamber with potatoes, put that on top, and it's just gonna push it through these really fine little holes. Make the fluffiest mash. Also, let me tell you, this is satisfying. We'll then just pour our hot dairy over, and using a rubber spatula, we'll just begin folding it in. Gonna need a little salt, because remember, it got a lot of salt from the water. This is absolutely perfect. There is one more trick to the perfect shepherd pie mash, but for that, we need to wait and let this cool down a little bit. So just set it aside. Hot pan, little neutral oil. Don't need much, because the lamb is really fatty. That's just to start the process. We'll go ahead and drop in our lamb, and I'll just begin smashing this up. I'm not supposed to use metal on these pans, that's why I'm doing this. Rosemary salt, if you know, you know. And if you don't know, I'm gonna put a link to this recipe in the corner right now. It's a staple here on this channel, so please learn it. Really easy, you'll get so much enjoyment out of it. And Sergeant Gilbert, reporting for duty. Fine ground black pepper. Cooking this down over high heat. All right, been cooking for about 5 minutes at this point. Needs to keep going. I want to see a little more color on here. All right, lamb's been going for about 10 minutes now. And what I'm gonna do is push it off to one side, and then I'll just drop the veggies over in that reserve side, and we'll just begin cooking those down over here in all that lamb fat. Okay, veggies have been going for 10 minutes. Now we'll combine everything back together, and that lamb is still continuing to brown. Now I'm going in with some tomato paste. This is really gonna help give it some body and rich flavor. And with tomato paste, it's really good to cook it off a little bit first. Sometimes when it comes from a metal can, it can have a nasty little tinge to it. And so toasting it in this pan with all that lamb fat is really deepening the flavor and taking away a certain tartness. Also the beautiful color. So you wanna cook down the tomato paste for about 5 minutes, just medium heat. And now I'm gonna add in some frozen peas. Gotta have the peas. And when they go from frozen to hot like this, they get really green. Beef stock. Obviously, if you had lamb stock, that would be good. Shepherd's pie is made with lamb. Cottage pie is made with beef. See, that gets confused a lot online. So there you go. Add in some more. Might seem like a lot of stock right now, but we're gonna simmer this down and let all these ingredients get to know each other, and it can only do it a lot of good. So after about 15 minutes, we're looking like this. Still a little juicy, but holding together. That's when we wanna shut off the heat and let this cool down. Now, once those potatoes have cooled down for about 20 minutes, we're gonna add 1 egg yolk per pound of potatoes, so in this case 3, and just go ahead and work those yolks in. You don't wanna do this while it's hot, otherwise you'll cook those yolks. And this is great because it's gonna give your mash some incredible color, as well as puffing it up a little bit, meaning it's gonna slightly rise. Really not necessary, but I'm gonna drop mine into a piping bag. You can certainly just spread it on with whatever. Now, I always like doing this in individual portions. Shut up, oven. I'll treat you like the fridge. You keep lashing out rather than one giant baking dish, although that's fine too. It's just very hard to kind of scoop it out and serve when it's hot. And plus, these little cast iron things and ramekins, I just like them. Okay, our filling here has cooled down. It's now room temperature. I'm gonna flatten some of our filling in here. Now, going with my potatoes, starting from the outside. I'm just gonna spiral my way in. Like that. Same deal with the ramekins. Maybe I'll try something new here. You know, once you're in a piping bag, you can just kind of do whatever, I don't know. And we're ready for the oven, which is set to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which is this in Celsius, my friends. And we're just gonna roast those. Okay, 35 minutes later, and here we are. I'm going in. Nice little crunch on the top. Ooh, some of that crispy topping on there. This is so hot. I'm not gonna be a fool. I'm not gonna be a fool. I'm gonna let it cool down. All right, that's been 3 seconds. That'll be good. Oh, no! Oh, yes! It's a psych! It's a psych to spinning. Oh, and by the way, that recipe was enough to make 1 extra like this, which I'm gonna give to my neighbor. And until next time, it almost slid off, dude. I caught it. Caught it! The chef catch. Okay, until next time, you know I love you and I'm out.